Hey everyone. Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to a new episode with Kevalicious and a new Lineage 2 class showcase. Today I'll be going over the Dwarf classes. There are two currently in the game. The Bounty Hunter, which is the tank, and which comes from Scavenger, and then there's the Warmsith, the two-hand weapon DPS class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a few of the skills, just kind of give you guys a showcase of some of the combat and what to expect in the game of L2 Knight with these two classes. If you're an old L2 fan and player in general, then your expectations of these classes are going to be extremely different. So get ready for a completely different play style than what you're used to. If you're new to L2, then welcome. This is just a fresh new perspective, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get into it. So the first one I'll be showing is the Bounty Hunter, the new tank class of L2K. In the original Lineage 2, they used to be just spoilers, which meant for new players, which meant that they were the only class in the game that could get additional materials, and sometimes the materials that no one else could get. And the only class I could were scavengers. Well, in Lineage 2 Knight, what I've done is that I've redesigned the game so you don't need to have a scavenger anymore to actually get the spoils. You just play the game normally, which is really cool. So instead of being an essential class of the game just for spoiling and crafting, I've revamped their class specifically to become a tank class. So if you look at their passives now, you'll see they have shield mastery, heavy armor mastery, and a lot of new nifty passives that a lot of tanks get that allow them to be proper tanks in this server. So some really cool abilities. What's really cool is that they don't have the normal smash skills. Instead, they get things called bombs. They have spoil bomb, curse bomb, and time bomb at level 60 is time bomb. You also get some extra special skills called poison bomb and steam bomb. Poison Bomb is an AoE dot that's on the ground that slows their targets and does a pretty good amount of AoE damage. And Steam Bomb is an actual, you can cast it on yourself or any friendly targets or players or party members, actually only party members, and it shields them and absorbs a certain amount of damage. Every time you use either Spoil, Curse, or Steam Bomb, it adds a stacking buff up to I think 3 stacks. So I'll show you. First one is Spoil Bomb. Then I can do Steam Bomb, and then I start auto-attacking. You'll see here I have one of every one up, and you'll see that these bombs take a while for it to explode, but once they do, they hurt, which is awesome. Spoil Bomb does a stacking ticking damage, while Curse Bomb does a debuff that reduces their casting speed, their attack speed, and yeah, it's a pretty gnarly debuff. So you'll see here I'm at level 2 Spoil Bomb and 1 Curse Bomb. Time Bomb only requires 2 Spoil Bomb and 1 Curse Bomb, so I can go ahead and cast it. This one hits really hard, so you'll see after 6 seconds, it goes off and it stuns and does a lot. Well, I didn't do a lot of damage on this guy, but it usually does a lot. And you can see here I'm going to go in and start just dealing damage while my bomb is about to get triggered. So they're all about delayed damage with some nice little steady damage to compensate it with their spoil bomb. So you see that those are the 3 essential single target abilities, which is great. And then if you had a big pull, let's say I pull a bit more and I want to do a little bit more AoE pulls during my farming or something, I'll go around Steam Bomb myself, make sure I get a lot of that going. And then Poison Bomb requires 3 stacks of Spoil Bomb and 2 stacks of Curse Bomb. So I gotta make sure I get those stacks up. So I think I'm all set on that. Once I get enough, hopefully I don't die, I can then cast my Spoil Bomb. So you can see here there's a spoil, a poison cloud on the ground, and it just deals damage, a poison cloud damage around everyone around me, which is awesome. So I gotta sit here and try to just survive. And then my bombs also does AoE damage, so they hit not just one target, they hit multiple targets, which is great. Scavengers are probably the strongest in terms of tanking of AoE damage. So they can do a really good job of just farming in general. Other tank classes do a really good job too, but they don't have nearly as much AoE potential as the Scavenger aka Bounty Hunter class does. Then you have your essential taunt abilities like all tanks have. Instead of theirs being called taunt or what is their abilities called? I think it's just taunt. they get something called spoil, which in the original game is what allowed them to get special items that they originally couldn't get in the game. In this version of the game, it works differently. Their spoils are actually just straight up taunts, which works completely different than before. And then you can see they have Spoil Festival, and then they have their normal Spoil. Spoil Festival is an AoE taunt now, and then normal Spoil is just a single target taunt. Then they have Energetic Yell. All the tanks have an additional, like they have one single target taunts and one AoE. So theirs is Energetic, Spoil, and Spoil Festival. Then they have their special buffs, like Spike increases everyone in the party's damage for 15 seconds, and then they have Encase Armor. All tanks have a special defensive cooldown that increases their personal armor, while dwarves are the only ones that can cast on anybody in their party, not just themselves. So that makes them a little bit more supporty and give them extra support abilities within the party role. So they have Spike and Encase Armor. On top of that, Steam Bomb. So they're great off tanks for that reason alone. And the fact that they have a lot of AoE potential makes them great AoE tanks. So yeah, that is our first dwarf class. The second one I'd like to show you guys is the Warmsith. So let me show y'all. So they use two-hand is their specialty, so you have to have a two-hand weapon to utilize any of their skills. Unlike before, they really weren't dependent on any of those kind of things. It's different now. I'm gonna have to get this guy off me. Let's see where two-hand. I got this one. Okay. So Warmsiths specialize in something a little different. They have a lot of self buffs. And then they have golems, which is really cool. So they can summon a mechanical golem because Warmsiths are like in lore of the crafters. In the original L2, they were the crafters. No other class could craft, only Warmsiths. In this version, everyone can craft through the shops. So instead of being crafters, they're now a DPS class, which is really cool. So I'll show you a little bit about their rotation. They play a lot like destroyers and yeah, them and destroyers, the orc class, are very similar. The only difference really is a few skills, like their golems that can actually CC people. And yeah, I'll show you guys. It's pretty cool. Let me find my Fatal Strike, Power Bash. Okay. Then they got Mega Strike. And then they have Armor Crush. Armor Destruction. Then they have their CC abilities, and then they are good to go. And their AoE skills are really strong too. Let's see. Okay. So I'll just give you a quick rundown. So basically your two main combo generators is Power Bash and Fatal Strike. So you'll see here you get a momentum every time you cast your ability. Once you get 2, you can cast your Crush of Doom. Now, if you want to get all your amount of momentum, you can use Force of Nature to get full 6 stacks, which is the current max, to be able to cast your Armor Destruction and Mega Bash. Armor Destruction requires 3, and so Mega Bash requires only 2. Armor Destruction is your hardest hitting ability that reduces the armor of the target, and then Mega Bash is your second hardest ability that increases your own attack speed, your attack damage, attack speed, and yeah, it's a really good ability. So you basically kind of get the idea. You want to go through your rotation and then build up your momentum and use it on your spenders. Crush of Doom is really essential too because it might not hit as hard as Mega Bash or Armor Destruction, but it's a really major slow in PvP. PvE is still a slow, which is nice, but it's not nearly as essential. But in PvP, it is your strongest CC ability because it keeps the target locked down. So if you're in PvP, it's amazing. Well, as a dwarf, you see it as a pet, you can actually use your mechanical golem and it roots the target in place like that. So as a dwarf, you might not have a range stun like the destroyers have, but instead you get a little golem friend that can actually stun or actually root your target from afar, so your dwarf can catch up and start beating on them, which is really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the class. I know I'm not showing you guys a lot, but that is the Bounty Hunter and the Warmsith. There are more things that you can definitely talk about, or like not talk about, or find while playing the game. I'm just giving kind of a short synopsis and description on each of these classes, and today I went over the dwarves. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm about to go in game right now, as you can see with some players in the server. I'm actually going to go do a raid real quick and help out some players in the game. So if you join the server, come join, get some loot, get some experience, and enjoy the game. I'm excited to announce that we'll be releasing the Olympiad pretty soon with a bunch of new fixes and updates to the server. So if you're a big PvPer or you enjoy more of the structured PvP kind of things and MMOs, then this server is about to get introduced. One of those systems, we already have team versus team, but we're going to also launch the Olympiad, which is a great way to keep track of like your scores, who's the strongest, and introduce the hero system, which is really cool. You get a glow effect, some special abilities, and a just awesome title within the game. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and start playing the game so you guys can enjoy. I'll just speed through this, so on the video that you guys watch, you'll just see me do a quick raid with some friends online so you guys can experience what's happening in the game during this showcase. So I hope you guys enjoy.